started. Bryce going to the Super Bowl before Lamar. We're just a few short weeks away from that happening. I mean, it's all coming together.
Apparently,
we're gonna be retired in February.
We have the greatest tight end of all time too.
Yeah, that was Baltimore.
That was a discussion this morning
in Baltimore
because he's going to have all the receiving records. And I said, where do you put Mark Andrews on your all-time Ravens list? And that was tough. 3?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just thinking about recently. I mean, are we giving Baltimore all of Cleveland's history as well?
No, just Baltimore Ravens.
He's third. Todd Heap, Dennis Pitta.
No. I'm just talking about Ravens.
Yeah, Todd Heap, Dennis Pitta.
No, not the position. I'm talking about all time like Ravens great.
Oh, I thought you meant tight end.
My bad. Like, I said what I said.
I was like, yes, the 3 greatest players in your history are all tight ends. What? I mean, there's not. No, I can't count that high. I don't know. Not off the top of my head.
All right, we're gonna bring it up. We're gonna bring that later in the show. We'll bring that later in the show.
That's a ridiculous question.
But if you guys want to see Hendo stumped, go check out our morning show. We do it Monday through Wednesday on this channel and the Road Pod. We simul stream that.
Hey, let me ask you this: where does Tom Zbikowski rank? Same thing. Like, why would we even ask these things?
He's just an all-time great athlete. He was also a boxer.
That's true.
Shout out to Zbikowski. Big E3 in the house, aka Rave Kingdom. Salute to you. Thanks for coming through. We got Urban in the house as what up, Jose and Brodny. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you, Urban. Thank you for coming through.
Yeah, but I saw what you put in there next, so it's not all good.
I mean, yeah, Urban. We were here, but we're like, look, y'all just got to wait just a little bit longer. Y'all weren't quite ready yet. We had to give y'all time to get acclimated to the new setup here, because if you haven't noticed, we were streaming live on the horizontal, the traditional view, and the vertical view. Some of you guys are in the vertical view, like Just Aloe. Just hello, LBHT crew. I hope everyone's doing great. Hope everything's well with you, Just Aloe. But that's what it is. Like, it's your eyes aren't deceiving you. It's not a glitch. It is streaming twice. You'll see it twice in your feed. Those are 2 different views for the people that like to watch these streams vertically. That's something that YouTube is pushing, so we're experimenting with it. So, just gives you a different option. Tay got it. Salute. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you. Osmond's in the house. Osmond says hello, Jose, Brodny, and all the chat. Yes, and also if you clicked on this one, you're like, it looks different. You want to go back to the other view. They're both streaming. So you go on our page and you can pick how you want to view it. All right. Who else we got in here? Adelia, our super producer Adelia is in the house. We're so glad to have you back, Adelia.
Yeah. It was a bit of a disaster going back to the old ways.
It was. Adelia says, FYI, there's an emoji. Oh, yes, phone emoji. That's how you'll know. There's a phone emoji after the title that will tell you that whether it's or not it's a vertical stream, and a horizontal stream does not have one.
You know how they say, like, when you're little, like kids, like they don't know they're poor, like, cause you don't know anything else. That's how we were without Adelia producing the show. And then she took a break, and it was just like, this is how we was living.
I always joke with my friends how, like, we grew up eating poor people food, and we didn't know that. Like, I thought you couldn't get no better than Steakums. Like, when we had Steakum sandwiches, I was like, we made it. I mean, this is fine dining, right? Like,
never mind that you have to put the entire pack on a piece of bread to equal the size of an actual steak.
I didn't realize that life got better than that until I got older, and I was like, ew, Vienna sausages. Ew.
Vienna sausages that was it for breakfast.
That was it.
You got Vienna sausages. It was going to be a great day.
Or the fried bologna, and Ma would cut out
turn into a sombrero,
or the sombrero, or she cut out a triangle to make it Pac-Man. It won't let me type in the vertical stream, but Just Aloe, if you go to the channel page under live, then you can pick one without the phone emoji. Yeah. Oh, yeah. StreamYard. Okay, I'm not gonna go too in on them. Right? They're trying out something different. All right, whatever.
Like to do this, it could just be YouTube.
Could be YouTube. Yes. Zeke Hokage in the house. What's going on, Zeke? Thanks
I
for
know you didn't change your avatar, Zeke.
that's still Naruto.
All right.
See, you're not a real Naruto fan, man.
No, I'm not even a fake Naruto fan. I don't like anime. I'm just saying, like, I recognized him by the avatar.
That's the Nine Tails form right there. Okay, you know he's leveling up. He's leveling up like we're trying to level up. Chi-Town in the house. What's going on? Thanks for coming through. Who else we got in here? Yolanda. Did I say Yolanda already?
I don't know.
Ravens Talk with Yolanda says, hi, LBHT family.
What's up,
Appreciate you. And Kwame B is here. Salute. Coach, I miss Coach too. I saw you, Coach. Shout out to you. All right. We have a few things to discuss. We have a lot to discuss. We got 2 big games. Every week is a big game for the Ravens and the Panthers at this point. But I feel like it's like that for the whole league, if we're being honest.
For most of the league, yeah. Not so much for the New York Football Giants, who are about to be eliminated from playoff contention this week. But before we get into any of that, we did get a cash app from our guy Noah. Thank you very much, Noah. Appreciate it. And he says, let me pull it up real quick here. As always, he says, hashtag LBHT crew.
Salute to Noah. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So we got a lot to discuss. We're going to get into it. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact. And B and Nicole have a Black History fact for you.
This week on the LBHT Black History Fact, Imhotep's story begins in Egypt during the 27th century BCE, in the reign of King Djoser. Though born a commoner, his brilliance quickly set him apart. His very name, He Who Comes in Peace, hinted at the wisdom and calm authority that would define his life. Rising through the ranks, Imhotep became Djoser's trusted vizier, chief architect, and high priest, a man whose talents seemed limitless. His greatest achievement was the Step Pyramid at Saqqara. Before Imhotep, Egyptian tombs were simple, flat structures called mastabas. Imhotep envisioned something revolutionary, stacking mastabas, one atop another, to create a towering monument of stone. The result was the world's first pyramid, a structure that not only honored the king, but also transformed architecture forever. This bold design marked the beginning of Egypt's age of monumental building, inspiring centuries of pyramid construction. Yet Imhotep's genius was not confined to stone. He was also a physician and scholar, remembered for treating illness as a natural condition rather than a curse from the gods. This rational approach to medicine was centuries ahead of its time, and it earned him a reputation as a healer, whose knowledge could ease suffering. His writings and teachings influenced generations, and long after his death, Egyptians worshipped him as a god of medicine and wisdom. The Greeks even equated him with Asclepius, their own deity of healing. Imhotep's legacy grew larger with each passing century. By 525 BCE, he had been fully deified, one of the rare non-royal Egyptians to achieve divine status. Shrines were built in his honor, and pilgrims sought his guidance in dreams, believing he could cure them. To this day, he is remembered not only as the architect of the first pyramid, but also as one of history's earliest polymaths, a man who mastered architecture, medicine, astronomy, and philosophy, and whose intellect elevated him from humble origins to immortality.
Salute to the Black History Fact. All right, where do we want to start, B?
I mean, like I said, greatest quarterback of all time, best rookie wide receiver in at least the last 20 years in Tedderell McMillan. They won the FedEx Air and Ground Player of the Week awards this week. That's the also Bryce was the Offensive Player of the Week for the NFC, the 5th Panther to win it this year.
I got you, B. I got you. I was ready for this. Boom! Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that. Most passing yards in a game by a Panthers player in franchise history. Bryce Young, 448. 448.
And you can't put that like right off camera. He's looking up at Cam right now.
Yeah.
You know, that was his mentor.
Okay? Yes. So shout out to him. And look, this goes to what me and B have been saying. I mean, he kind of represents the team as a whole this year. Up, down, right? When you have a game like last week, they're all saying, he ain't the guy, he's not it. And then he comes out this past weekend and plays like that. I mean, and it was looking dire too.
Not just that he broke the record, broke it against one of the top pass defenses in the league.
Yeah,
they were giving up about 165 yards, somewhere in there, per game, and he dropped 448 on him with 3 touchdowns and no turnovers.
Yeah,
so a pretty incredible performance.
And towards the end, it was in the fourth quarter, right, where he got hurt.
It was before, a little bit before that, I think. He's not been 100% since he hurt his ankle to begin with. But yeah, no, I think it was in the fourth where he tripped and they stepped on him multiple times.
No, it wasn't.
I think but I think he had re-injured it even before that.
It was in a fourth because I was tuning back and forth between games, and I remember thinking, because they went for it on 4th down. That was a 4th down play, and I was like, they have to get this right because there's not a lot of time left. And then tripped over his guy, fell down, got hurt, and I was like, well, that's a wrap. And I changed the channel. But by that point, by that point, Michael Penix had exited the game. Michael Penix out for the year, man. I hate to see that for him.
And they're saying likely the start of next year as well.
Oh, that sucks, man.
With a partially torn ACL. Hopefully he doesn't take that full recovery time and he's able to get out there early and play for the start of the season. But just a devastating injury for Penix, who's had a long history of injuries going back to college.
Yes. But I remember, I changed the channel and I said to myself, well, Kirk Cousins in the game, man. It's not over. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, it's not over. Let me turn it back. And you guys have gotten the ball back and you scored and you took it to overtime and you won. And I was like, see, I knew it. And Bryce Young had come back by then. And, that's what surprised me because it looked like he was going to exit the game. I didn't think he was going to come back. Shout out to pay the bills for the $5 cash, not cash app, the $5 super chat. It says for some ice,
B wants to hit his head. Greatest QB, eh? Listen, you better watch yourself around Murder Peg. Pay the bills, all right?
For a $5 bag of ice.
Getting real bold in the chat. Pay the bills, all right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, he's out. Michael Penix is out. That sucks.
Listen, you might want to, and no, I wish the best for Michael Penix. I hope he has a speedy recovery and he comes back and plays well. You might want to stop calling him your dog, coach. He ain't good. Right? You might want to distance yourself from that while you can.
Hey, shout out to the Flex Zone, man. Make sure you guys subscribe to their podcast. And they're on YouTube. It says congrats to Bryce Young turning his career around. Yeah, I mean, look, so this is what we want to ask. This is what we're getting to right now. What does he need to do to play consistently at a high level moving forward? Because this isn't the first time he's played well. He always plays well against the Falcons. But he has up and down games. Even last year, he started out really bad, got benched, but then came back and played much better down the stretch. And he's playing better overall this year. But I mean, he's had his lows. So what needs to happen for him to play consistently good for the rest of the season?
To be honest, I think it's less about him. I mean, obviously, every quarterback has to make the right decisions and protect the ball and that kind of stuff. So obviously, he has to do that as well.
Yeah.
He's made some really poor decisions throwing passes that have been intercepted. He's had obviously the ball knocked out on he's lost several fumbles and all that. So yeah, every quarterback has to take care of the ball. But as far as just him, producing, I think that's more about the wide receiving core and the coaching staff than it is at Bryce Young at this point. Early in the season, and we had even Derek D. Weezy saying that they needed to throw the ball downfield more, and I said, yeah, ideally, but they didn't have anybody to throw the ball downfield to. It was just Shedeur McMillan. Xavier Legette was out at that point. Jimmy Horn hadn't even played yet. Jalen Coker was on IR. So like there weren't a whole lot of options, but now you're seeing Legette's healthy. Jalen Coker is starting to round into form. He's playing well now. They've got Jimmy Horn out there. He's getting involved. And I think Dave Canales is getting more comfortable and trusting the pass game more with those guys out there than he did earlier in the season. And I think that's really just the key is him and the offensive coordinator saying, go ahead and just throw it around, right? Because we've got guys that we believe in who are going to make the catches, make the plays for you. Shedeur McMillan, he's been playing great all year. And Canales mentioned in his press conference that they made it a point to move him around the formation to get him, in favorable matchups because he had the exact same number of catches, yards, and touchdowns inside the numbers as he did outside the numbers against Atlanta. But also Xavier Legette has had a few games where he's made some big plays for Carolina. Jimmy Horn has made some big plays for Carolina. He doesn't have huge, big numbers, but he's made some big plays for Carolina. Jalen Coker had a few big plays against Atlanta as well. So, with those guys kind of all of them getting healthy and kind of getting into their rhythm, Bryce should be fine moving forward. It was when he was out there, no offense, but trying to throw it to Bryson Tremaine on 3rd and long that they were really, really struggling. Yeah. But, they've got the guys out there now. Hopefully Legette keeps playing, to a higher level than he has before. I think Jalen Coker is nearing 100%. He's ready to go. And I think they can, continue to get or look for ways to get Jimmy Horn involved. And those guys playing well will make it much easier for Shedeur McMillan out there as well. I don't think you can expect to see the play that you saw from Tommy Tremble too often, but they have, but that's the thing. They have 3 tight ends who are probably none of them are starters, right?
Right.
But they're all solid kind of tight end 2 level players who will make plays occasionally. Tommy Tremble caught that pass. He broke 4 tackles and gained 40 yards, and essentially won them the game right there, So yeah, they have guys who are making plays. The run game, they got to get that back on track. But I think Bryce is going to be fine from here on out. I mean, they have some tough games against really good defenses, so he's not going to be throwing for 450 yards every week. But he is set up, I think, right now to play very well for the rest of the season.
All right, so how you feel about this 49ers game? They're another team. They're going to win that game?
Yeah, they're going to win that game.
What's their record? The 49ers are another
49ers
tough team.
Are 7-4. They're in 3rd place in that division, and they're 7-4. It's a pretty good division.
And they're 7-4 without a starting quarterback. I think Brock Purdy is back now, right?
Yeah, but they're still without a starting quarterback. So,
I told you they should not have paid him.
But it's like, look, I'm joking about Brock. Like he's fine. He's not a great quarterback or anything like that. But they are a kind of scheme driven offense, and honestly, right now they're not getting the most out of Christian McCaffrey, and that's the scariest part of their offense to me.
Yeah.
But they do have George Kittle, so maybe I should take that back because we can't cover tight ends at all. But this is going to be a revenge game, not for Christian McCaffrey because he made out in that deal. Revenge game for the Carolina Panthers for trading him away. All right, he's going to get shut down this week, then that'll lead to the Panthers win. They're going to be 7-5 going into that Rams game.
Is that at home or is that
the Rams game? I'm not sure.
No, the 49ers game.
Let me pull it up here and see. because these are their last 2 games before their bye.
And shout out to Flex Zone. Appreciate the love. He says, shout out to Lunch Break Hot Take. Y'all been killing it. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Kwame B says, let's not get cocky now, B.
They're at San Francisco and they're home for the Rams. You know what, Kwame? Like, I know y'all don't understand this in Baltimore because y'all are perennial losers. But when it's working for you, you got to go with it. All right. When you have the opportunity to talk trash, you talk that trash. When you're playing well, you act like you're playing well. Don't get scared. Don't be a Raven.
Yeah.
Right. Stand up and pound your chest and say, we gonna win. Don't be like Baltimore, like, oh man, I hope we're not favored this week. That's what Ravens fans like. Oh man, I like it when we're the underdogs. No, man. Be proud.
Yeah, show some confidence. What's up, Omar Tillman? Salute to you. Says, what's up, fellas? I got questions about Bryce, but love this team's resilience.
Is your question like what size jacket he needs for that Hall of Fame induction, Omar? Is that the question?
Coach says, Jose, you allowing this? Coach, I'm
allowing what?
Hey, Coach, he's got a couple more weeks. Okay,
we still better, y'all.
We got like a week or two, and then we can say calm it back down. We gave you a head start, and now we caught up to you.
Y'all telling me to calm down with your fraudulent ass win streak. You better sit down, Coach.
Fraudulent. You guys win one game, and you think you made it. You think
I'll tell you what. Tell you what. Well, why don't you just tell me what do you think is going to happen when you play Green Bay?
We're gonna win.
You didn't believe that. I can tell you. I can tell you didn't believe that.
I think
Jordan Love gonna rip y'all apart.
I think we run the table.
Yeah, you run the table.
We might drop one.
You are a John Harbaugh coach team. You ain't running the table.
We might drop one more game, but we're going to run the table.
And it'll be the Cincinnati just because.
Look. Yeah, right. That's all right. We can drop that game as long as we sweep.
No. But actually, like this is a great time for both of our teams. I'm not even. I'm joking about Baltimore, but they got Lamar back. The defense has started to step up. They're back on track. Like it's sad. Y'all are a game behind Pittsburgh, a team who you struggle to beat the Steelers regularly. And there are approximately 0 people who believe the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win that division. And with good reason. Like Baltimore is going to win that division going away. And you know what? Like Carolina may get to the playoffs, they may not, but this is the best season the Panthers have had in about a decade. And they finally look like they've got the right GM. They finally look like they've got the right coach. They've got the quarterback in place, and they're going in the right direction. Yeah. So there's nothing but happiness over here.
Yeah, no, I think Tracy's here. What's up, Tracy? Says, hey guys, I have yet to get a newsletter. I know that's my fault. That's my fault. I told Handle this morning too. I was like, I got to work on a newsletter today. Somebody's going to ask about it. And sure enough, Tracy asked for it. Morning shows are great, even though I have to watch later because I keep missing live shows. That's okay. That's the thing about it. I do them that early because I got to get out the house by a certain time. So, it's okay. They're meant to be just quick, just headline type stuff and, just to get your day going. You don't have to catch it live, catch the replay and listen to it on your way to work or as you're getting ready for work. But I appreciate the support. Thank you so much, Tracy.
Yes.
But Bryce, I think this team, this is a year that you're discovering yourself, that you're finding out who you are, what your deficiencies are, what you can do to improve next year. Bryce, yes, you want to see consistency, but the team ain't all the way there. But what I love from him is he's not hanging his head or anything like that. He plays with confidence. He can have a bad game one week and it doesn't shake his confidence the next week. He can go out there and have a game like that. The consistency, I think, will come.
And they're not, they're not overly talented. So yeah, they do have those inconsistent games, like games where they don't play very well. But the thing that is consistent is the effort, and the other thing that's consistent is the belief in the team and the coaching staff. Like the players know, the coaches know, the front office knows that they are going in the right direction finally.
Yeah.
And it's been a very, very long time in Carolina before, since you've been able to say that.
Yeah. So.
We're just coming up on Matt Rule's, Jay-Z didn't build Rome in 7 years thing. So, we're right on track.
Somewhere Matt Rule is saying, see, this is all because of me. I told him, I told y'all to take about 5 years, and I set the wheels in motion. So you're welcome.
He sure did.
What a jerk.
He's not a jerk. I think Matt Rule's fine.
He's a jerk.
He's just not an NFL coach, man. He's just
no, not at all.
I don't, I'm not like, I don't hold grudges against coaches and stuff once they're gone.
You're absolutely right, Omar Tibble. Matt Rule is taking credit for this. Let somebody interview him and ask him about the Panthers, and he will say, I started this.
Hey,
I put the wheels in motion.
Facts are facts, all right. But no, I don't hold grudges against coaches once they're gone. Oh,
he's been assistant youth pastor.
You got to be the assistant.
Yeah, he's doing a good job in Nebraska.
He's doing a job in Nebraska.
He was doing good before he came into the league. I mean,
he's a college coach.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Yeah,
I wish him all the best.
Yeah, that's always been my thing. I don't believe if you're trying to turn your team around, or you're especially if you're competing, you're just looking for that right coach, right? Never get somebody from college. We talk about firing Harbaugh all the time. Yeah. Okay, Harbaugh is an NFL coach. There's no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. If we fire him, the next candidate, I don't want it to be the Notre Dame coach. I don't want it to be anybody from college. Nobody from college is going to come up. That's just Barry Switzer, right? That's when he had all the talent.
Yeah.
Right. Like Pete Carroll doesn't count. Pete Carroll was already an NFL coach before he went to USC and came back. Right. That doesn't count. I'm talking about first time coaches. We're talking about rookie head coaches. That's why I should be more specific. Rookie head coaches. If you've never coached in the NFL before at any level, you come into the league as a head coach, I think you're not going to be successful. I think you should. I don't care how good you are at the college level. I think you come into the NFL, you have to start out as at least a coordinator before you jump into a head coaching position. I don't think you can jump right into a head coach position because these coaches coming from college, especially if you've been highly successful and you've been coaching for a long time, they got it all messed up. They think they can talk to grown men the same way they talk to young men.
Yeah, it's about the personality of the coach, right? But I think you're right because you're not going to get the time that you need to adjust to the NFL game. You're a college coach is always a big splashy hire because the other coaches have been in the NFL, and you're like, oh, whatever. But the college guy, I mean, they could be anything, right? They get there, and then they're 3-14, and then they're fired, right? Like if you're hiring a guy who has zero experience in your league, the thought process should be, and people hated Matt Rule for saying it, but he was right. The thought process should be, this is going to take a while because we're bad, so we have to turn the team around, which takes a while, period. But also, this guy has to acclimate to being a head coach in this league, and they're never going to get the time to do that.
No. Somebody pointed out Jimmy Johnson. Yes, Jimmy Johnson came from Miami, but I mean they weren't.
But he was before Barry Switzer. Also, he said not since Barry Switzer.
Yeah. But yes, that was decades ago. That was decades ago. Completely different game now. But the Panthers. I'm going to pick them as well. 49ers are tough. Yeah, tough schedule coming up. The Rams are tough. Mm-hmm. But just focus on 49ers. They went to Green Bay and beat Green Bay. They can beat anybody.
Yep.
So it's just about, this is really going to tell me how locked in they are this week. This is going to tell me if they kind of got it together, right? Mm-hmm. They understand what it takes week in and week out to win these games. They win this one, I'm gonna feel good about that Rams game.
Yeah, I mean the Rams game is going to be tough to win regardless because
Yeah.
they're a really good team. But like I said, there's nobody in the league that Carolina can't beat.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Omar says if Rule didn't keep shopping at the dollar store for QBs, he might still be around.
Hey man, listen, Carolina. I mean, what's wrong with the Panthers, right? I mean, they let go of Baker, they let go of 4 INT Sam. Like, I mean, it's crazy down there. Nobody could be successful. And here we are, a half game behind Baker. He's starting to sweat.
Yeah, you're right there. You are right there.
They've lost a couple in a row. Ain't nobody talking about Baker for MVP stuff no more.
If y'all didn't drop that New Orleans game, you'd be
well, if they didn't drop the New Orleans game and the Arizona game and the Jacksonville game, but
yeah,
it's fine. It's fine.
Play the preseason.
It's all part of the journey.
That your coach isn't perfect. Canals isn't perfect.
No, he's a guy no experience as a head coach.
No,
he's learning how to be a head coach as well.
Yeah, but he learned from that mistake. Next time, just listen to me, Canales. Play your players in preseason. They needed the work. All right, but he's learning now. They're going to be just fine. All right, moving on. Ravens versus Jets. First, let's do a quick recap of last week. Played a ugly game. Lamar easily his worst game of the year, but they still pulled it out. I like the way the defense fought in that game. I don't care if it was against the third string. Shedeur Sanders, his debut, he didn't look great. In fact, he looked terrible. But you play who's in front of you, and these are the type of games that's going to build confidence for the defense. So I'm happy about that. And look, we'll see what happens this week. The Jets are an awful team. And there's some questions about who's healthy on this team, mainly Lamar Jackson. Lamar didn't practice today, and Harbaugh was
not healthy.
Harbaugh was asked about Lamar Jackson's status. Hey, what's going on with him? Is he hurt? And he just pretty much said, "I'm not telling you." Okay, I'm not telling you. And when the injury report comes out, I'm going to say that he's healthy, and then he may not play. Okay, now. This is, he said it's the same as last week. So, no, he's not healthy, but he's healthy enough to play, most likely, and they're just kind of taking it easy with him. This is a game, though. If he didn't play and we had to go start Tyler Huntley, we should still be able to win.
Yeah, this is why you have backup quarterbacks. This is why it's an important position. You should be able to sit Lamar down and win this game.
Yeah,
you should, and I think they would. The Jets are going to be starting Tyrod Taylor. They made the switch at quarterback because, Justin Fields is why you've been terrible for 3 decades.
Right.
That's not gonna do what they think it's going to do. This is going to be it should be an easy win for Baltimore.
Yeah. And that would get us back on the winning side. And again, I'll take it. I want to keep seeing. I want to see the defense keep playing the way they're playing. Are they playing bad offenses? Yeah, I don't care. Right? If that's what gets them, playing right and trusting their instincts and not second guessing themselves out there, then that's what you got to do. Until you go play those top teams and you play those top teams with confidence because you trust what you see out there.
I'll tell you what, man. If the Kansas City Chiefs lose a couple more games and get themselves knocked out of the playoffs, at that point, I'm kind of going to pick Baltimore to win the Super Bowl because Kansas City is the real boogeyman, right?
Yeah.
Buffalo, I think, is in their head a little bit, but Buffalo's not very good. Like, they can beat Buffalo. Kansas City is the one where I would not feel comfortable picking them going on the road or even in Baltimore, to be honest, beating that team in the playoffs. But right. Man, if they're not there, I'm not picking Daniel Dimes. That's for sure. I ain't picking Trevor Lawrence over Baltimore.
So somebody asked us after our post game reaction, if we still feel like the Ravens can go all the way with this poor O-line. And yes, in the AFC, yes, one game, every team in the AFC, every fan base in the AFC is saying one game at a time, 1 week at a time. Okay. Adelia's Nuggets, not Nuggets, Broncos, Denver Broncos. The Adelia's Broncos are first place. Well, she likes the Nuggets too.
Yeah.
All right.
We were talking about the NFL though.
I know. The Broncos are first place. I don't think she's saying today Super Bowl, right? No disrespect. I think she's saying, look, week to week, we got a good lead, but week to week, and we'll see where we're at. See, it says my Broncos are definitely playing game by game.
Yeah, that's right.
Every team, so every team is looking at it that way. That's how the Ravens need to look at it. One game at a time, get yourself back into it. And yes, the offensive line, I mean, Harbaugh said they're pretty darn good. They got the best 5 out there. Of course, we would know that's all a lie. We have eyes. We can see what's going on out there.
Well, you can't call it a lie because you haven't seen the other guys. Maybe these are the best 5.
I can call it a lie because I've seen and heard John Harbaugh for years, and I know.
Well, yeah, no, I mean he's a liar, but I'm just saying, like, it is very possible that these are in fact the 5 best offensive linemen that you have. Like,
okay,
that's a very real possibility. It's a scary one, but it's very real.
It's possibility. I don't think so though. I want to ask the chat: do you guys think that the best starting 5 offensive linemen are out there? And let's just be real. Do you think the guards? We have the best guards out there? I don't think so. I think Ben Cleveland is better just because he has more experience. Right? Like what's going on with Falele and Voorhees. That's not, that's more than a talent thing, right? Nobody, like everybody has functional strength when you get to this level, right? You have functional strength. You're not just getting, just blown over every play. What they're doing is not understanding who they're supposed to block, miss assignments, especially with Falele. It's not even a joke anymore. We see it every week that he just doesn't know who to touch. He's putting his hands out like he can't see, like he's looking for something to feel. Like that is not understanding his assignment. And at this point, if you're not understanding your assignment, that's on coaching.
Yeah, they look like 2 guys who have been possessed by the spirits of a couple middle schoolers who have never played football, and they're on the O-line. Like I said, they don't know what to do, and like they're not real comfortable controlling those huge bodies yet. You know how like you gotta kind of grow into that when you hit a growth spurt, and you can move around all awkward because you're not used to being that big. It's like they don't know how to control the bodies. They don't know where they're supposed to be, and they're just flailing around like literally just spins. He just spins. It's just vibes, man.
Just Al says, no way. Cleveland is better than Fala down the lay.
Fall down and lay? Man, come
fall
on,
down
bro.
The lay.
Yeah, but yeah, Voorhees, he be face planting out there too. Like, it's just they don't seem real. They don't seem like real NFL players. It seems like it's an elaborate prank on Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. He was asked again, Harbaugh was asked again about Emory Jones, and he said he's getting very close. What are you laughing at?
Emory Jones. Because when they drafted him, because this goes back to liars. When they drafted him, they're like, yeah, no, he'll be ready for training camp. Right? That's what he'll be ready for training camp. He'll be practicing in training camp. And then several weeks ago, they just said Emory Jones is ready to practice pass blocking for the first time. And now they're like, yeah, no, he's getting better. One day he'll be ready to really like fully practice as an NFL offensive lineman. And I'm like, this dude's never gonna play. What's wrong with him?
Oh, he's not hurt. He's been healthy for a while. They're just not starting.
No. They have said that he is not 100% healthy. That's what I'm saying. A few weeks ago they had said that he was just now getting to the point that he could actually practice pass sets.
Yeah,
And I don't know what was wrong with him, because initially it was his shoulder, and I'm like, I don't know why you're not able to practice anything. But like they're saying he was not healthy. He may be fully healthy now.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like the last few weeks, he's been healthy and practicing. When I say they just don't think he's ready to go out there and play.
Well, of course not.
Yeah,
he's practiced for 2 weeks.
I mean, I'm willing to bet he knows to put hands on somebody out there.
I don't know. He might have forgot. Like this might be a Markelle Fultz situation with him, Falele, and Voorhees, where they all just forgot what blocking is.
With all of them,
with everyone.
Here's what I honestly think. Obviously, we got Cleveland, Jones. Who's the other guy that we have? I forget his name.
Well, he's a tackle, but Vincent.
No, not Vincent. Even Vincent, give him a try.
I forget the other guy's name.
But they don't like to rotate guys in and out, but that's what they need to do. They need to rotate guys out and see who's really playing the best. And they need to do it now. Like Coach mentioned yesterday, that it's, you got to get these guys out here playing so they get some cohesiveness, but I will sacrifice that if Bullock. Yes, thank you, Daniel Franklin. I will sacrifice that if we can get some guys that can just hit somebody. Put your hand on somebody, and honestly, and if they're not comfortable, because what it is they're young, and Harbaugh doesn't trust young players because he can't develop young players, and you've seen that they can't develop young players. Go on the street, find somebody. Dumpster dive and get somebody that has some years of experience. Are they going to be good? No. Will they be better than this? Hell yes. Because a veteran player that hasn't been coached by Harbaugh has a basic set of skills and knowledge of the game. And they will at the very least know you can't let a guy roam free and hit your quarterback. They'll know at least that.
Yeah, I say you got to find somebody who knows when and how to hold, at least.
Yep.
Falele straight up gets out of the way of defenders. Like he avoids contact.
Yeah.
So you need to get somebody who, they're going to get beat, but they'll grab on. And like I said, the refs aren't going to call it every play. Yeah. So
what's up, KP? KP says this is the most injuries Lamar has dealt with in the season, and he's averaging more sacks this season than he has in his career. Does this coach's staff and front office not have eyes or a brain? They do, but they don't like the fact that we have eyes and a brain. And if we point something out, it's, hey, you don't tell us what to do.
Yeah, if all of Ravens flock and all the media had just been silent, they would have benched those two by now.
Yeah.
But John Harbaugh is not going to do what some clown at the end of the bar tells him to do, because you don't know football.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he does.
Yeah.
This is the thing, too. Kogan says, never thought I'd miss Macari. Yeah, there was no reason to let him go. Like, Macari is not a great old lineman by any stretch of the imagination, but he got re-signed in Baltimore initially because he's a very valuable player in that he can play all 5 of those positions. He's not playing them great, but if you need somebody to step in, he's got experience at all those positions, and he can step in and kind of, keep things afloat for a while. And they said, man, he's better than Voorhees. Better get him out.
House says Macari was just as bad as who?
No, he wasn't.
As who? As Falele and Voorhees? No. I
now don't mistake that for us saying that Macari is good.
No.
Because he's not. But he was not as bad as these two.
You'd be hard pressed to find players as bad as those two. Maybe the Raiders might argue, come check out what we got going on over here. But I mean, you're talking about guys that don't know. They don't know who to block. It's not that, oh, hey, I went to block this guy and I let this guy go. It's, I'm standing here not touching anybody. What do I do?
And looking around.
Right. All right. We got some stats here. Let's bring them up. What we got first, Adelia?
Okay. First up, Ravens defense and the Jets offense. The Ravens have generated pressure on 28.9% of dropbacks this season, 5th lowest among defenses. Hey, Carolina's right there with you. However, their 38 unblocked pressures are the 3rd most in the NFL. The Jets' offense has allowed the highest pressure rate, 47% in the NFL. Under pressure this season, Tyrod Taylor has averaged 7 yards 7 yards fewer per attempt. 2.6 yards more than when throwing from a clean pocket. That's terrible. That's awful. Yikes. All right, let's just keep it going. Let's go with the next one.
Yeah.
Jesus. Will McDonald, defensive end for the Jets. Will McDonald, the 4th. I'm not saying the 4th. Forget it. Leads the Jets with 27 pressures this season, including 12 quick pressures under 2.5 seconds, while averaging 2.6 seconds to pressure, the 5th quickest amongst edge rushers with at least 150 pass rush snaps. The Ravens' offensive tackles have allowed pressure on 11.5% of pass rushes, the 7th highest among offensive tackles, while averaging a 3.21 time to pressure, the 9th longest mark in the NFL. So, that's a bit of Lamar holding the ball, a bit of him waiting for receivers to get open, and a bit of the tackles are slowing down a bit. Ronnie's not who he used to be. Rosengarten didn't take the big step forward that you would hope to see there.
Yeah.
But, they're all right. They're fine. Because they don't play guard.
Yeah, and also look, Monken obviously he's working with what he got, but they want to have to implement more quick passes. I know Lamar's getting the ball out faster. We read that stat last week, but they need to drop more plays to where it's designed to get the ball out quickly, especially against a team like this. You gotta, you gotta be able to execute those things.
And you've got Zay and Keaton Mitchell, who you would think you would want to get the ball to them quickly and in space.
Yeah.
But Baltimore's like, no, sir, not around here. Next up, we have the Ravens offense. The Ravens used 2+ running back sets on 1.3% of plays prior to their Week 7 bye, increasing the personnel used to 36.5% of plays over their last 4 games, the 3rd highest rate among NFL offenses in that span. When using 2 backs on the field, the Ravens have averaged 4.8 yards per carry, the 3rd highest in the league, and have scored 3 of their 11 total rushing touchdowns out of the formation. And that's a real simple one. That's Hard R. Ricard is back and playing.
Yeah.
And, as much as I hate to say it, and I do, the dude can block.
Yeah, that's why I said when he came back that the blocking overall will look better. I was wrong about that. They somehow look worse, but but he helps at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think we have one more. This one, the Jets offense. The Jets have used motion on 69.5% of plays this season, the 6th highest mark among NFL offenses. They have reached an explosive play rate of 13.4% when using motion, compared to just 7.7% league low without motion. Some of these insights, they tell you that there's a really obvious thing this team should be doing, and they are just not doing it as much as they should. Right? Every team needs to be using motion at a very, very high rate, because it reveals things about the defense to you. It confuses the defense at times, but it's just better than lining up in a look that the defense has seen over and over and over and over on film and have them have a really good idea of what you're going to do. If you can confuse the defense a little bit, if you can get some insight into what the defense is doing pre-snap, obviously it's going to help you execute on offense. But yeah, let's just do it 2/3 of the time.
Right. The Ravens shouldn't have any problem winning this game, even if this might be a game. If Lamar isn't 100%, just let him sit out. Yeah. You can trust
Tyrod versus Tyler. That's appointment viewing right there. I know the NFL is salivating for that matchup.
You can trust Tyler Huntley for this game. Is he going to play great? No, nobody's going to play great behind this O-line. But the defense should be able to handle this. They look like they're in the zone right now. Let them go out there and just keep putting it, like, and we need to put it on them anyway, because this is what they were built for. They need to go out there and feel like, hey, we're winning some of these games. We're making a difference. So let that be this game as well. I would let Lamar rest this week, to be honest.
I would as well. I think Tyler Huntley would have no problem in this game. This is the Jets team that doesn't have Sauce Gardner anymore, that doesn't have Quinnen Williams anymore.
Right.
That is, they've quit on their quarterback. Who and I don't know. We're not in the locker room, but it seemed like the rest of the team liked Justin Fields, but they've given up on him. This team is going nowhere.
The Tie Bowl, yes, living legend. The Tie Bowl.
They're going nowhere. They're going fast. I think Tyler Huntley would win this one easily.
Yeah. So and that's what pisses me off about John Harbaugh. Why can't you just be like, yeah, no, like we're sitting them out, we're evaluating them, we might rest them. Like what competitive advantage are you giving up by just saying, hey, our quarterback isn't 100%. We know he's not 100%. You said that last week. We already know he's not 100%. We know it's a knee thing, right? Like that's already out there. We've seen him play, and he's not moving the way he normally moves. We already know. You're sitting him out today. He's not getting a Veterans Day. He's sitting out because he's hurt. You said the same thing as last week. Well, what happened last week? Well, he was too hurt to practice. Okay, then say that. That's fine. He might play. He's testing it out. We're letting him rest today. We might go with Tyler, but ultimately go with Tyler Huntley this week. Let him rest up. Like he's just getting banged up out there. I mean, sacked 4 times by Myles Garrett. One of them, Myles Garrett picked him up and slammed him to the ground. Of course he's hurt. That's
not funny, but yeah. I see your comments, Killer Cam. You say that San Francisco fans are talking a lot of trash and saying it's going to be a blowout. They also lost to Houston, so whatever. I don't particularly care what they say. And this game is on Monday night for those of you who don't know, the Carolina and San Francisco game. And I'm just going to say it. Bryce Young is a stone cold killer. Right? They ain't going to get blown out on Monday with everybody watching.
Yeah,
that's not going to happen.
Killer says Grant Cohn says y'all are good, but Niners are clearly superior. I like Grant Cohn.
They're one game superior.
But watch Grant Cohn if they lose. Grant Cohn goes in on that team.
He's not even wrong. They're clearly more talented.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah. They're absolutely more talented than Carolina. But so are like 6 of the teams they've beaten this year. Like it's not just about the talent. I saw a quote. I forget who the quote is from. It might have even been Ferris that retweeted it. That he says, "Hey, we were clearly the better team on paper. Unfortunately, we play the games on grass."
Facts. Right? Imani says, "I just hope they don't play down to the competition." Talking about the Ravens. Yeah, that's always a concern. I feel like Tom Monken is pulling away from. I don't have anything. This is just a feeling. I don't have any source or anything like that. But I feel like Tom Monken is pulling away from the ranks of Harbaugh a little bit. I feel like not every play called out there is in line with what Harbaugh wants. And even though they're making it seem like that was Harbaugh's game plan for that fake tush push, I do not believe that was a Harbaugh call. Been watching him coach for a long time. Yeah. I've never seen him making an in-game adjustment like that.
He'd been setting that one up for years.
Yeah.
But no, he definitely pulled away, and you saw exactly when he did it when he hugged Trippy.
Yeah. Yep. And he said FTMF.
Yeah, I don't think he was talking about the people who posted the article.
I don't think so either.
Not at all. And good for Todd, man.
Yes.
Well, don't just take that.
I'm becoming more and more of a Todd Monken fan, right? Because it shows that he understands the game. He knows what he's like, look, I know what I'm doing out here. Like, yes, I don't want to go against my head coach, but if you're gonna throw me under a bus, I'm gonna be a scapegoat, then I'm gonna do my own thing. I know more about offense than you do.
Yeah.
Right? That's a fact. He knows more about probably defense as well. Yeah.
Probably special teams as well.
I ain't gonna take that from Harbaugh. I ain't gonna take that from him.
I will. Your special team sucks, but whatever.
but him. I think there are some plays we just like. Look, we can't do this here, man. We're not getting the push from this O line. I gotta get creative. I got just call certain things, and they've been working. And Harbaugh can't say anything about it. If they're gonna, you're not gonna fire him in season. So, at the end of the season, if you're gonna fire him, that's fine. But I'm gonna make sure that my resume, holds up.
Yeah, this should be one of those games where they can just turn around. They can sit Lamar, turn around and hand it to Derrick Henry, hand it to Keaton Mitchell, hand it to Justice Hill, and win easily. Maybe not by a wide margin, but win the game easily.
I agree. But it should be easier than the Browns game.
But Daniel and Andrew won't allow that to happen. So
we'll see. But this is also a game. It's also a game to rotate the other guys in.
Yeah. If you were one to recognize your own mistakes, and if you had something called, humility, and if you were interested in righting the wrongs that you've put out there for the past 12 weeks or 11 weeks.
Michael Johnson says this whole guy at the end of the bar thing is played out. Just because Harbaugh is in the NFL doesn't mean he knows more than fans. You have fans who know a lot about football, Brodny.
Yeah, that was my point.
Yeah. I don't think you picked up on the sarcasm, Michael. We say that on the show all the time. My take on that is I don't think half of the league is qualified to do their jobs. I don't think we have NFL caliber coaches, not just head coaches. I'm talking about position coaches and coordinators. I don't think I would say at least half the league are not NFL caliber coaches. Meaning, if it was a true meritocracy, right? Mm-hmm. You had to get here based on merit and your knowledge and how good you are. There would be a ton of new coaches that you've never seen before coaching in the NFL. There are coaches that can do a whole lot better than what you see out here. These coaches that you see in the league are here through nepotism because they're related to somebody, because they know somebody, not because of their knowledge of the game. So and especially in the front office as well. It's about who you know, not what you know. So I think there's a lot of substandard coaching going on in the NFL.
Yeah. And even guys who earned their way there, you're not necessarily the best coaches out there. I said on the show multiple times. It's like if somebody sat you down and taught you how to play a specific song on the piano. You know how to play that song, but you don't know how to play the piano, right? And that's guys come up through these coaching trees and they learn how to do it a certain way, and that's how they do it, right? Whereas you have other coaches who know how to play the piano, as it were, and those are the guys who can adjust in game. Those are the guys who can adjust to their personnel, and change who they are, because that's what coaching is, right? It's like you don't say, hey, I run this system and we're going to, take these guys who don't fit and just mash them in there.
Right.
You say, hey, yeah, this is what I typically would like to run, but we don't have the personnel to do that. So this is what we're going to do instead. We're going to fit what we want to do around the strengths of the players that we have.
Yeah.
And most coaches don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Because they learn to do it a certain way and they get passed along. And, once you're in forever.
Forever. Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't believe that, and I know this isn't the NFL, but this applies to college as well. If you don't believe that, go look at DJ Durkin. I killed one of his players and is the head coach in college right now.
Yeah. Yeah. He should be done. All right. Before we move on to the next thing, one more piece of Ravens thing we talked about at the beginning of the show. Mark Andrews, who broke the Ravens reception record, already had the Ravens touchdown record, all-time scoring record. is 4 catches away. Hold on, let me bring this up here. Let me bring this up. Mark Andrews needs 4 catches Sunday to become the Ravens' all-time receptions leader. He already owns the team's records for career receiving yards and touchdown catches. The only tight end who currently owns a franchise's receiving triple crown is Travis Kelce. So you see, B, he is on the level of Travis Kelce. Okay, but the question is, I asked that this morning on our morning show, and man, Hendo was stumped. He was. I said, hey, like he's going to be in the Ring of Honor, sure, but where do you rank? Well, like where do you put him in terms of Ravens legends, all-time legends? When you think of the Ravens Mount Rushmore, the all-time greats, where do you put Mark Andrews? That was a tough one to answer for him.
It's tough to answer because it's a really high number. It's a very high number where Mark Andrews come in.
Yeah. Not high rank, number, like high low rank.
Yeah. Because like just off the top, Lamar Jackson, Joe Flacco at quarterback. I mean, and honestly, Trent Dilfer. I mean, he won the Super Bowl. Then you're looking at you got to do it, and I'll explain why afterwards. But Jonathan Ogden, Ronnie Stanley, Marshall Yanda.
You're talking about offense.
Yeah, right now. Osamele.
Osamele?
As a better player, I think so. But okay, I'll take him off. I'm not gonna argue it.
I think Anquan Bolden.
Anquan Bolden, Torrey Smith, Todd Heap, Dennis Pitta. I would put Derrick Henry right now. I mean, he hasn't been here that long, but I put Derrick Henry, Ray Rice, Derek Mason, Steve McNair. We're at 14 right now on offense, and I know I'm forgetting.
Steve McNair wasn't here that long either.
No, he wasn't, but he was so much better.
Jamal Lewis, yes.
Jamal Lewis, thank you very much. So that's okay. So I'm going to stop right there on offense because that's 15, and I know I didn't name anywhere near all of them. I mean, Pat Ricard, right?
I think.
Excuse me.
Some of those names you can make an argument for, like Dennis Pitta, Todd Heap, he's higher on the list. Like he has all the records, right? Sure. So you can make an argument. But
you know why? You know why you can't make the argument? Because he was worthless in the playoffs. And that's why he's below a lot. That's why I have him below Trent Dilfer. Trent Dilfer, he wasn't great, but he was a starting quarterback on that Super Bowl team, right? Mark Andrews has all these regular season numbers, these regular season records, but it wasn't just that he was bad in the playoffs. He was non-existent in the playoffs. So for me, like that's 15 right there on the offense, and that's not even an exhaustive list. And then we know the Ravens have even more stars on defense than they have on offense. So you're looking maybe he's in the top 50.
Okay. I'm gonna ask the chat. I mean, it's debatable, right? Like, where do you have him? Like, where do you have him ranked? All-time Ravens greats, because he's about to be the triple crown holder in receiving. Okay, where do you have him? Because everybody is happy about that. I'm happy for him, but that speaks to how inept we've been in the pass game and getting our quarterbacks weapons over the years.
Go Man says we got a playoffs coming up. Let's root for him. We always root for him. He always lets us down.
Go Man, ain't no way you had this man your top 5.
No, there's no chance.
Ain't no way. Name your top 5. Name your top 5.
Right now.
I want name your top 5.
Do it. Lamar Jackson, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Terrell Suggs, Haloti Ngata, Jonathan Ogden. I mean, that's 6 right there, and we're not even close to Mark. So I want to hear your top 5.
Yeah.
Did I say Flacco? Because I meant to say Flacco also. I don't know if I said Flacco.
Yeah. Yonda. Andrew's the GOAT. Devon Alice says, I got him.
That's what I said when Jose first asked me that. I said third because I thought he was talking about tight ends in Ravens history, and I had third.
We talk. So this is a good question. If we're talking playoff performance, then where would y'all have Lamar Jackson? Because he hasn't played great in the playoffs, and that's.
But he hasn't played nearly as bad as people would lead you to believe either.
No, he hasn't played nearly as bad, and also he has 2 MVPs, and Mark Andrews hasn't played to that level, right? If Mark Andrews was like clearly the top tight end in the league, right? He put up Travis Kelce numbers, but not showing up in the playoffs, we would still have him higher on the list, right? Because he showed, weird things happen in the playoffs. People choke, it happens. He's had one really hot year, and he's not on that. He's not that Travis Kelce type player. He's not, a Gonzalez type player or a Gronk type player. He's not that type of game wrecker. He's good. He's really good when Lamar's is there. When Lamar's not there, not so much, right? And then in the playoffs, he gives you absolutely nothing. It's not that he's playing bad. It's that it's like he's not playing. It's almost as if it's better that he's not out there. Yeah, like it's better when he's not on the field almost. That's how bad he's been in the playoffs. So that's what's hurting him. Mark top 50 is crazy. Give us your list, or give us a number.
I said he might be top 50.
Tell us. Not Mike. He's top 50.
Listen, we stopped at 15 on the offense, and there's more on the offense, and then you go to the defense, which has more stars than the offense.
I don't know if I agree with everybody on your list.
No. I know you don't agree with all of them, but I'm just saying you could make with the 15 people I had named, you could make an argument that he was 16th. So when you start naming defenders, he's going to be behind all of them, right? Because Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Haloti Ngata. Who else do you want to put on there? You want to put Jimmy Smith. You want to put Marlon Humphrey. You want to put what's this? I can't remember the other middle linebacker's name. CJ. I can't remember his name now.
CJ.
The guy that left to go to the Jets. They didn't want to pay him. Then you drafted Prince. Or Queen, not Prince. Queen.
CJ Mosley.
CJ Mosley. Matt Judon.
Yeah. Kyle Hamilton right now.
Siragusa, Kyle Hamilton. That's another 10 right there off top. Chris McAllister's in there. It's a lot of guys. Peter Boulware. There's a lot of guys on that list, and Mark is not going to be ahead of any of them. He's just not.
Okay, Chris McAllister, yeah. Okay, all right. Just look,
I don't want to be disrespectful, so I'll say he's in the top 50.
Put it in the chat. If you're watching the replay, put it in a comment. I'm just curious. Where do you have him placed? I mean, there's obviously no right or wrong answer. You put him where you want to put him. I'm just curious. Yeah, Sam Adams is another one. I'm curious. This is a great accomplishment that he's about to have.
You wouldn't put Matt Judon over Mark Andrews, Kwame?
I absolutely would. I absolutely would. But that's fine. That's fine if you don't. That's what I'm saying. Like some of these players, you can argue.
Some of them you can argue, but Kwame is saying top 20 at least. No chance.
Yeah, I don't see that.
No chance he's top 20. Because again, if he had done anything at all in the playoffs, then sure. But he's completely absent in the playoffs.
If I'll be even more fair than that. I think if he didn't hurt us in the playoffs, because he actively hurts us.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he just didn't do anything in the Bills game, we probably would have won that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He had 2 drops and a turnover. If he just wasn't out there, or he just didn't get targeted that much, I think we win that game. The 2-point conversion goes to somebody else. They catch that. The pass that he fumbled goes to somebody else. They probably hold on to the ball, right? He actively hurts us. If he wasn't doing that, I would be more favorable to Mark Andrews. So, yeah. He has the same record as Lamar. Yeah, we're talking about personal stats, though. We're not talking about record.
Yeah, okay. He has the same record as Lamar, and in the last 4 playoff games, Lamar has 9 touchdowns.
He doesn't have the same record as Lamar, by the way. He played in that game that Lamar wasn't in with Tyler Huntley. He did nothing in that game, too.
I think he missed one of the games that Lamar was into.
Okay.
But regardless,
yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
But regardless, if you just want to say his record, then I mean, I guess everybody who's playing for this current team is a top all-time Raven because they've won a ton of games over the last 8 years. if that's all we're going to go by.
Andrews being our leading receiver says more about our offense than how good Andrews is. That's the point right there.
And exactly, because Kwame responds, "Oh, who's been our leading receiver for the last 7 years?" It hasn't been Andrews every year, but who cares? You don't have any good receivers.
That's the problem.
Who's the best wide receiver in Baltimore Raven history?
Derek Mason.
Right.
That's his record. That's his record he broke.
Right. No. But I'm saying, like, in terms of talent, it's probably Steve Smith,
or Anquan
right?
Bolden.
Or Anquan Bolden, and they were there for a couple of years. Like, you don't have any kind of legacy for pass catchers. You don't.
Yeah.
You're like the Chicago Bears. Like, Caleb Williams is about to be the first Chicago Bear to ever pass for 4,000 yards. Don't mean a damn thing.
But that's what really this says. It shows how poorly this franchise, even with Ozzie, has done with that position, with the wide receiver position. Because Mark Andrews' stats should not be having him number 1 in all these categories for the franchise. It shouldn't.
Kwame says it speaks for consistency, fam. No, it doesn't. It speaks for mediocrity. That's what it speaks for.
What speaks for consistency?
Him being the leading receiver in Baltimore. It speaks for mediocrity. That's what it speaks for.
If you look, they showed a stat on during that Browns game when he broke the record. The company that he was with in terms of tight ends that hold that record for their team, or for yards, right? I think it was for yards. It was laughable. He did not belong up there next to those other tight ends, right? Like the bar was so low here. All he had to do was stay on the team, right? Like Hendo made the point earlier this morning. Zay Flowers can break this record if they re-sign him, but they probably won't because they don't keep talent here. That's the thing. That speaks to the culture that they have here and what they don't value.
Yeah, because let me look up Zay's number here.
Yeah,
Zay
Harbaugh better.
He's a little over 5,000 yards, right?
Yeah, hold on. Let me read this. Harbaugh better never go to the Hall of Fame because he's done nothing.
He's probably gonna go.
I don't know.
He's a Super Bowl winner. He's been to the playoffs. God knows how many times.
He's got
he's probably gonna go.
Well, let me ask y'all this then. Is Mike McCarthy a Hall of Fame coach? It's Mike McCarthy test because Mike McCarthy still has a better record, slightly better record than John Harbaugh. They've been coaching for the exact same amount of time.
Yeah.
And if he's not a Hall of Famer, Harbaugh ain't a Hall of Famer.
Wow.
Okay.
So, like, we're talking about this, right? And how big a deal it is for him to break the record. Zay Flowers is currently 10th all time for the Baltimore Ravens in receiving yards. He's played for 3 years. He's 10th. So,
how far away is he from 9th?
I'll tell you what, it's in play in the first. It's in play in the first drive this week.
Wow.
He is 25 yards behind Anquan Bolden.
See what I'm saying?
By the way, another fun fact: Travis Taylor has more receiving yards for the Baltimore Ravens than Anquan Bolden does. Doesn't mean anything. Means absolutely nothing. Torrey Smith is 4th all time with 3,591 yards.
Yeah.
So if you got a legit wide receiver, like a legit, really good wide receiver, and he played in Baltimore for 4 years, he would overtake Torrey Smith.
Yeah.
And then by year 6, he would be number 1.
I would say if you got a legit wide receiver, like we talked about George Pickens. George Pickens is going to be a free agent if he doesn't get franchise tag or signed by the Cowboys. If we ponied up and paid him the money, it will only take him 4 years to break these records.
I mean, it's possible. It would be tough. It would be a little tough. It wouldn't be that tough, but I mean, it would be. You have to just be healthy the entire time. Is really what it will come down to. But yeah, it's doable in 4 years. Just not for Zay because Zay is not a great receiver. But
right,
Zay's going to get there. Like Kendall said, Zay's going to get there if they re-sign him. He'll be number
absolutely.
1.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. He'll surpass him because Mark Andrews ain't gonna be here for much longer. Living just said Travis failure.
But think about but honestly think about that, right? Zay Flowers could pass Anquan Bolden with 1 catch this week.
Yeah.
And listen, nothing against Zay Flowers. I love Zay Flowers. But Anquan Bolden was one of the best receivers in the league when he was in Baltimore. Right. And so just looking at the total stats, when you were with the team, it doesn't tell you a whole lot.
No.
Not a whole lot.
But his stats before he got here told you everything you needed to know about him. He was that guy. They just didn't pass the ball like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But leave your answers in the chat. I'm curious to know. I want to know, where do you rank Mark Andrews among the all-time Ravens greats? Okay. Your number is your number. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments if you're watching the replay. I want to know your answer. Where do you rank them? Because it's all the everybody talk about. Hey, top 2, not 2. Okay, all right, man. Look, he got the record. Where do you have him?
Another fun fact, since Kwame was asking about it, Lamar is 2nd all time for the Ravens rushers.
2nd?
2nd.
Damn.
What is this?
Y'all
don't listen to me. They went to the Super Bowl with Ted Ginn talking about mediocrity. Yeah, why do you think they lost, Kwame? what point did you think you were making here? Ted Ginn sucked. That's how great Cam was that year.
Kwame,
that's the entire point.
Ted Ginn was so bad, right? But he had a great year, like stat wise. But I told B back then, I said, man, Ted Ginn, because he wouldn't just drop passes. He would drop like those 50-yard bombs.
Yeah.
Right. Where he's all by himself. And I said, B, if he had 3 more catches, we'd be talking about him as an all-pro.
Yeah.
Like that's how Ted Ginn, as far as getting open, yeah, elite.
Like
he was going to get open. Catching that ball?
I remember that year he had about 10 touchdowns and he legit dropped 7. And like these aren't questionable things. These are 7 times where he was running by himself and just didn't catch the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he was awful. He was awful. Jamal Lewis is number 1, right, Brodny?
Yes.
It's gotta be, gotta be Jamal Lewis. Was Ted Ginn mediocre or not? No, he was terrible.
Yeah, no, Ted Ginn was bad.
Yeah, no. Yeah, bad. There were no good wide receivers on that team. Or tackles. Let's see.
Kwame says, how is that shocking though? Lamar has more rushing yards than some of the running backs he came in with. What point are you making? Kwame, the point that I'm making is it doesn't matter where you are on the Baltimore Ravens all-time offensive lists. That's the point I'm making, because you don't have a lot of great offensive players. Not sure how you didn't pick up on that one, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, let's go easy on Kwame.
No,
He's what you mean?
let's
No,
not.
let's go easy on
Let's
Kwame.
not.
Let's look, I got your back, Kwame. I got your back. Not the Mark Andrews thing. Yeah, I can't help you there. But no, the point is that they don't put value on offense. They never put value on offense. It was okay back when you could dominate on defense. You had some of the greatest players to ever play the game on defense. But now there needs to be a shift. That's good for Mark Andrews. It's good that Mark Andrews broke that record. Now it needs to be Zay Flowers breaking that record or somebody else breaking that record, right? There needs to be that shift, in philosophy. It needs to be, hey, it's an offensive league. We got to put up points, and we need to see more players surpassing these numbers. Because Derek Mason hasn't played in decades. Okay, it shouldn't have been this long for somebody to break that record. What are you reading, B?
I'm just reading that Joe Flacco has more career yards than Kenneth Dixon. Like, I thought Kenneth Dixon was going to be so good.
Yeah,
I really did.
Me too.
That's a shame. That's too bad.
All he needed was opportunity. Let me stop. Yo, having a chance like who? Kenneth Dixon. That was also one of Lamar's running backs. He was in the league when Lamar came in.
Yeah. Well, was he? I guess he came in the same year. Yeah.
Lamar is the QB. Why is he in your top 3 rushers? That's why Ravens records don't mean ish.
That too.
All right. We spent a lot of time on that. I meant for that to be a quick little question, and I wanted people to just put that in the chat, but that was a good conversation there. All right. Next, we got Core Public Opinion. But first, we got 70 people in here. Appreciate y'all, man. Hit that like button. If you're new in here, hit that subscribe button. Also, patreon.com/LBHT Show. That's where you can find the Overtime Show. Also, for the channel members, I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it in the YouTube page in a second here. Just give me a minute, and I'll have that up there. We're gonna be talking Cam Scatterbo. WWE. He's in the WWE now. Okay, some people have a problem with it. All right, should he be just at home healing? Should he be locked away in a hyperbaric chamber, or can he live his life? All right. Also, what's the other topic I had on there? Oh, Patrick Beverly, a player that nobody has ever liked. Nobody's really liked this guy. Instigator, trash talker, and now he's beating up on his little sister. He got arrested. We're gonna talk about that. And Shedeur Sanders. We'll mention him a little bit right now, or in the show, and then on the Overtime Show, we'll talk about how he got robbed while he was having the worst day of his life on the field. Okay. Lots of things to cover on the Overtime Show. So patreon.com/LBHT Show is where you can find those discussions. All right. But first, let's get into Core of Public Opinion and let's talk about this. So, I'm sorry, I did it. Go ahead. College football has gone through some changes over the recent changes in terms of players getting paid. Forever, these players weren't able to get money under the table was illegal. Making money off of endorsements, even starting their own businesses, all these things they were not able to do, right, until recently. Now they can get paid off of NIL deals, and the game didn't end like some people would say, but now, because they can make money, they can make good money, they're allowed to get agents, they're allowed to get people to advise them, and they are looking out for the careers even in college. So you have the transfer portal, which has always been a thing, but now they're using it more times than they used to in the past. so they can get the best deals. And anytime a quarterback or a player leverages that, we have people that aren't so happy with it. And I don't want to call this guy out. This guy is just a user on Twitter, but I don't have any problem with this person per se. Like he had an opinion, and I kind of want to debate that. But the story is about Arizona State quarterback Sam Levitt says it's doubtful that he returns for 2026. Right, and essentially, he's looking to he's looking for more money. Essentially, right? They're going to be shopping his talents around, and this guy Andrew says, "I'm so tired of this nonsense. Everything Izzo said, talking about Tom Izzo. This guy's a Michigan State fan, I believe. Everything Izzo said about the portal has been 100% spot on. I don't have an issue with players transferring up from smaller schools to make money and play on the big stage, but a guy like Levitt transfers to Arizona State and takes them to the playoff. His camp, quote unquote, is now shopping him, quote unquote. It's professional sports with no rules and every player being an unrestricted free agent every season. It's a joke. For the majority of these kids, there's no connection to the school at all. They are there to cash a check, and that's all that matters." I want to hear from you guys. How do you feel about that? Do you feel that college sports is just become too much of a business? You get these guys that are only there for the money, and there's no connection to the school. Is it ruining your college football viewing experience, or is that just capitalism?
Yeah, and somebody in that thread actually called the guy out on saying it. Part of what he said there, where he said that he has a problem with Sam Levitt going to another big school, but he doesn't have any problem with big schools taking players from small schools.
Yeah.
Like, why is that okay? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he tries to say, oh, he doesn't like that either. But, it's more understandable. No, it's all understandable. They're working for the university. They're making the universities millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. Yes, they want to get paid. Not only do they want to get paid, they also want to put themselves in the best position possible to get drafted and continue their football career. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the transfer portal. What's wrong is, some people don't like the fact that one, their team doesn't participate, doesn't pay for players, or maybe you're a traditionalist and you just don't like seeing athletes have control over their own careers. But it's a joke to think that they shouldn't be able to move freely, right? Like he says, they are all unrestricted free agents every year. That's always been the case. They just weren't paid.
Yeah.
They were unrestricted free agents all the time because colleges give out 4 one-year scholarships rather than a 1 4-year scholarship. So they can yank that from players whenever they feel like it. But people are okay with the schools not being loyal. People are okay with the coaches not being loyal because none of them are, but you hate it when the players leave. And it's because one, as is always the case, people do not like to see young black males having any kind of control or any kind of money. They're just not a big fan of that. But 2, people unfortunately identify too much with their sports teams, and you're not going to identify so much with the coach. You're not going to identify with the AD. You're going to identify with the player, right?
Well, not just that. I mean, too often, and I hate this about our country, we side with the corporations and the billionaires and people that don't have our best interests in mind.
Yeah.
Well,
because some people get into that thing of, well, I wouldn't be able to do that, so they shouldn't be able to do that. Well, you're not special.
Yeah.
Like, the reality comes down to it is every single person watching sports, if another company offered you a bunch more money, you would leave. So if a school comes in and says, you know what, we're going to offer you more money to come play for us, yeah, the athletes are going to leave, and they should.
Yeah, and you know, I'm reading the chat, and I'm curious about this because this has been, you know, the topic of college players getting paid has been something that's been discussed for decades, right? And up until recent, the argument was there's no way to be able to pay them. You know, it's not possible, and you know, they're getting paid with books. They're getting paid with the free education. Like that's an actual payment. That's not an actual payment, ladies and gentlemen. That's nothing. That's a perk. Okay. You don't get paid with perks. You get paid with cash. Okay. That's how it works in this country. This is supposed to be a capitalist society, and in college football, you don't want to pay these guys, right? Here you're okay with socialism. here you're okay with everybody has to get paid the same if they get paid, you know. Education is okay. You know, you can't make money off your name and likeness up until recently. You know, this is a new thing. But I'm curious how you guys feel about it, because you'll have media still, especially, you know, like older media personalities will push back against this. They don't like the transfer portal. They don't like that players are asking for money. Like Kwame says here, college ball is cooked, right? How's it cooked? You know, like I'm like, in your mind, why do you think it's cooked? Daniel Franklin says the playoff destroyed college football more so than NIL deals. Why? How did the playoff destroy college football? These are things that should have always been in college football.
Y'all don't like having legitimate champions,
right? Voting for that's the thing I always hated about college football, when they voted. Like this is a beauty pageant. You know, like you just got to look good. You don't got to earn it. You know, like it should have always been a playoffs, and players should have always been paid. And this right here, I don't see any issue with this player hitting the transfer portal. And the guy said in the tweet that, hey, you know, it's you know, these players are just 1 year free agents. Well, why is that? Like, the school can change that. You know how you can change that? By giving him a deal and giving him a contract. But the reason why they're all free agents, because the schools don't actually pay these players, right? NIL deals are technically through third parties, right? So it's indirectly paid by the school. Like, the school doesn't officially pay these players because they still don't want to be on the hook for paying players. So if you don't want to commit to the players, you can't tell them when they should stay or go. That's business. The whole reason you go to school is so you can get a good job and make a lot of money. And they're doing that. You know, college football, college sports is a multi-billion-dollar industry. They're not poor. And and guess what? If you don't have the money, you don't have a right to exist in that business, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't have enough money, because that's essentially what you're saying when you say you're okay with these bigger schools poaching from these smaller schools. Hey man, you know, like you're small time school, stay small time. We got the big bucks over here. Well, if Arizona State can't afford to keep them, then you lose out. Capitalism, baby.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people forget or never knew that the student athlete term was coined to help help colleges fight against having to pay insurance claims from injured athletes.
Yeah.
Like it's not anything to do with amateurism. It's nothing to do with the purity of the game. It's nothing to do with them not being professionals. All that. It's dirty. It's there to get out of compensating players who are injured while working for the university. That's all it's ever been.
Yeah.
So if Sam Levitt can leave and get millions, let him do it. Nothing is stopping your favorite team from saying, you know, we're not going to pay anybody. There's nothing stopping them from doing that. You go ahead and field your intramural squad. See if you still love the purity of the game, or if you turn on the TV because you want to see the best athletes. The same reason you turn on professional sports.
If you do believe, hey, this does hurt the game, how? Right? You feel like these players aren't being loyal. You feel like, oh well, they're not playing in, certain bowl games because they're trying to protect their interest. That's always been the case. And as they should, by the way. As they should. You're playing the sport for free, right? The school's not paying you. They're just now letting you make money off your name and your likeness, right? Which that whole thing should be illegal, by the way. That should have been illegal. I'm glad they're able to do that now, but the school isn't making any real investment in you, right? So Urban says two things can be true. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but if you're not going to invest in a player, if you feel like, hey, we want to keep this money for our AD, our head coach and coaching staff, everybody else gets paid, media people, everybody gets paid except the players. That's what hurt your sport, right? That's what hurt your sport. Them being able to make their own money, and it should, if they embraced it, it would actually help boost college football. If these schools said, hey, look, we'll cut you a check, we'll pay you, but you play here for 3 years, right? Then you have guys that are fully committed to the program. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if Levitt signed a 3-year, $15 million deal, right? Unless he gets drafted, there might be some clause, if he gets drafted or whatever, he can leave or whatever. But he's there. He's committed there. He's not going to a transfer portal. He's committed there, and he's going to play football. He's not thinking about anything else because he's got the money that he wants. Then you can say, okay, cool. Like, you should be here. You shouldn't be looking to go to a transfer portal. You signed a deal. He has no deal with the school.
Yeah, and again, there's the other side of the transfer portal also, right? Everybody loved it when Dion had his little reality crew following him in and meeting with the Colorado players and telling them, get out, put your name in the transfer portal and get gone. Nobody had a problem with that.
Nope.
Where was the loyalty then? Where was hey, you recruited this kid, to be an athlete for you for 4 years. You can't kick him out.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of Sanders, I don't have a graphic for this, but just real quick, I want to touch on this. And so Shedeur Sanders got his chance to play, unfortunately, against the Ravens, and it didn't go well. It did not go well. He had a extremely low QB rating. Had an interception, got sacked a few times, made a couple good passes, a lot of bad passes. And, that's that. He looked like a 5th round pick. Okay. Now, Josina Anderson, I don't know if Josina Anderson is his godmother or what. And I like Josina Anderson, but she's been going extra
It's embarrassing.
Extra hard defending him. And I mean, you can have that opinion, but I don't know why. I don't know why. Not saying that she didn't have some valid points, but I don't know. Do you guys think he was given a fair shake? Like, her argument, and I think the people that would defend Shedeur Sanders' argument is, hey, he didn't have any first team reps at all. Stefanski hasn't really, tried to develop him or has his back or anything like that. I don't know what evidence that you have to support that.
None.
Yeah.
There's no evidence to support that, and no backups get first team reps. So
yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, what they're arguing for is special treatment for Shedeur, and then saying that he didn't get special treatment, so that's why he didn't play well.
So is he expected to start next week? Because I know Dylan Gabriel got it. Okay.
Now, if he doesn't get any first team reps this week, then you'll have an argument, right?
Yeah, I don't think. I just think he had a bad game, and I think the things that B has talked about that he's lacking in his game is one of those things that they felt like he just needs to sit this year, and we try to work to get those bad habits out of his system, because it showed up in this game. Yeah. Right, hold on to the ball too long. not really reading the whole field.
He's
like
not consistently accurate. He thinks he's a better athlete than he is, which that should go away pretty quickly, but it doesn't for everyone. Like there are some guys who carry that delusion on all the way through. But yeah, no, I mean, he looked exactly like a 5th round pick, not a guy who should have gone in the 1st round.
No, he did show some flashes. It wasn't all bad. Like there's something you could say, okay, I see some of the qualities there. I can see how he can develop that and become a good quarterback, but he's not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see what they do with him this week in practice and how the game plan. Knowing that he's going to be a starting quarterback this week, we can see how he plays. He'll get his shot. That's why I understand why Josina had to go off the deep end for him over that game. So people are going to crap on him. Hey man, that's just how it is. Like they're going to get on him when he plays bad, but he's going to be the starter this week. See how let's just see what kind of game plan they have and see how he looks out there. Because what if he goes out there this week and plays great? Are they still trying to sabotage him?
Right.
So I don't know. I just
Luke, they're going against the Raiders this week.
Oh, that's a gate. That's a gate right game right there. If there is one, that's a good game. That's a good game for Shedeur to go out there and show what he can do.
And that's exactly what the Raiders defense is saying, man. This is a good game for us to get right.
That's a great opportunity.
And hey, you know what? One of them's going to be right. So,
well, they won't be saying that by the second half because as many times they're going to turn that ball over against that Browns defense, they're going to be tired.
Not if they let them return it for touchdowns.
Also, attitude pop. I read something and it low key might be tight. What if Falele and Rosengarten are betting on games? No,
please don't.
No, please, attitude pop. No, they're not betting on games.
This is one of those things where it's like, I'm not saying that there's zero chance that anybody in Baltimore is betting on games. Like sports betting is a thing. Like athletes do it, right? Coaches do it, whatever. But this is one of those scenarios where they would be making it so unbelievably obvious that they would be in jail before the draft.
And these are players that are trying to get their first contract.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, second contract, but
first
big contract.
Yes. Yeah. So that would be extremely dumb. I don't think these are dummies. Okay. So, all right. Do we have any submitted questions?
Possibly. Let's find out together.
While B is looking that up, patreon.com/LBHT Show. Also, LBHTShow.com is where you can find our merch. If you like what we're wearing, that's where you can go and find that. Also, sign up for the newsletter. Like Tracy pointed out earlier, she got on me. I have not been putting it out. I'm sorry. That ends this weekend. Okay. There will be one this weekend, maybe even earlier. But go and sign up. LBHTShow.com. Just put your email in there. It's free. Obviously, we ain't spamming you because I haven't put out enough of them. But you'll get those more regularly. All right. And that helps support our efforts over here.
All right. We do have submitted questions, in fact. So let's go ahead and get to those now.
Yes.
AKA Young Wild, thank you very much. He says, we know that the Ravens are going to need 2 new starting guards next year. But are we sure that they might not have a right tackle problem too? Rosengarten's play has been almost as bad as 77 and 72. First, I will say he's not been as bad or almost as bad as those guys. He hasn't been great, but I think this is fairly normal that you see with offensive linemen. Progression is not linear. He did not take a big step forward like everybody would have hoped. He's taking a little bit of a step back, but I think he'll be fine moving forward. I don't think they have a right tackle problem, but to your point, this is why you address the needs when you have them, because what if you do have a right tackle problem? Now you need 3 starters instead of 2, and you didn't address the 2 that you needed when you knew you needed them.
I'll tell you what else. We might have a center problem too if we don't get Linderbaum paid.
ain't no right about that one. We will have a center problem. It took them forever to find a center.
Hey, Shout out to our guy Chris. Chris just joking. He put out a tweet and he was joking about he did a joke mock draft of for the Ravens, and it was all offensive linemen. That may not be too far from the truth. If we don't get Linderbaum paid, we may need to draft 5 offensive linemen because we're not going to pay for them, right? Like the answer, because like to B's point, the answer is go and get some veterans. We needed to do what the Carolina Panthers did and sign 2 veteran guards. If we did that, I don't think there'd be any issues on this O-line at all. Rosengarten, part of it is he's playing next to a guy that's just not blocking anybody. Right.
Yeah.
So he's got to worry about this guy's assignment. Is he trying to push somebody off to me that he shouldn't be? I still got to block my guy. There's a lot of confusion there. You get a veteran guy on that side that knows what he's doing. That makes it easier for Rosengarten.
Yeah. So I want to take a moment and say, y'all got to start respecting the rules regarding submitted questions. All right. I just got a message from someone who said recheck the questions. I refreshed, and there's another one that was posted a minute ago. It's too late. It's too late to be posting questions. All right. It's disrespectful. And moving forward, I'm just not going to do it. But right now, I will go ahead, since I hadn't said anything yet, I will go ahead and read them. Derek did it the right way. So Derek, he says, with the production from Dowdle, should Carolina re-sign Rico after this season and make Chuba running back 2? Chuba could also be cut after 2026 with only $4.5 million dead cap hit. It's tough to say because I don't think that they should be investing so much in the running back room. I told y'all right when it happened that signing Chuba to an $8 million a year deal was a bad idea, and everybody called me such a hater. Oh, Chuba's the best, blah blah blah, and now y'all want Chuba to be running back 2, right? He's nothing special, but neither is Rico Dowdle, and I love Rico. He's playing great. He's doing a great job this season for Carolina. The answer to this question depends on what they feel about Jonathan Brooks. Because they're in the building with him, they're rehabbing with him, they see him every single day. If they feel like he's going to get back to 100%, then no, you don't bring back Rico Dowdle. You let him walk, you draft another running back, because you drafted Jonathan Brooks in the 2nd round because you wanted him to be the starter, because you thought he was a special running back, right? So no, you don't clog up the room with Rico and Chuba and even Trevor Etienne, and while you're trying to bring back Jonathan Brooks. You can use that money elsewhere.
Yeah, no, the answer is no. You already signed Chuba Hubbard you signed Chuba Hubbard last year. That's your Rico Dowdle, right? Rico Dowdle is doing exactly what Chuba Hubbard did to get that contract, right? Exactly. Like this is what Chuba Hubbard looked like last year.
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard got hurt and he's not looking as great. And Rico Dowdle is taking advantage of that, and he's a good running back, and somebody will pick him up. It cannot be the Carolina Panthers. If you think Chuba can't get it going again, like play the way he used to play, you feel like, hey, Rico brings another dynamic, and we want to get him in here, and he's really helping our run game. That just means you need to go and draft a running back that can really be special for your team.
Yeah, right? and you have here Kwame saying they can be running back A and B like Williams and Stewart.
That was also a bad move.
And Cam saying, I don't trust Brooks to stay healthy. Okay, a couple things there. One, if you don't trust Brooks to stay healthy in the team and they don't think he's going to stay healthy, then yeah, you go out and you draft another running back. To Kwame's point about being running back 1 and 2, they were both 1st-round picks, right?
Yeah.
They were extremely talented running backs. That's not what they have in Carolina. They have 2 solid running backs. They could replace Rico and Chuba pretty easily. Yeah. And you know that because they replaced Chuba already pretty easily. Rico ran for 1,000 yards for Dallas and they just let him walk. Yeah. And Carolina picked him up for next to nothing. Like these are not special players. Like you can go out there now and don't mistake that, because like they are, they seem to be great teammates, leaders on the team, all that. They work really hard, they play hard, and that's great. But we're not talking about Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry here. We're talking about Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. So no, they can replace those guys. and they do not need to make them running back 1 and 2. I think that the preference in Carolina is probably still to have Jonathan Brooks be that guy. But the overall preference, the number one preference, needs to be making sure they get the pass game to the top of the league, because they have a strong O-line, and with a strong O-line, running back is not an issue at all.
No.
I need to make another announcement here. Since I said that I would go ahead and answer the question, this individual has decided to abuse the submitted questions, so I will no longer be answering these questions.
All right, we gotta move quick. We got about 9 minutes.
We're gonna do one. We're gonna do the first one he posted. Why is B such a hater? That was easy. Also, thoughts on the Lakers so far this season. The Lakers look great. They just got LeBron back. LeBron came in the first game, had 11 points, 12 assists. And the thing that I like about LeBron, which some people have tried to use as kind of an insult to him, is that he knows how to play within the team. He knows when to take a step back. And the Lakers have been rolling without him. It's Luka's team now, and he knows he doesn't need to be the guy going out there trying to score 30 a night. Luka and Austin Reeves are handling the majority of the scoring load, and that can let LeBron, kind of hang back, play fewer minutes, and be healthy when they really need him. And he's still LeBron, obviously not as great, but he can still go off if they need him to.
Yeah, everything B said. They're looking good right now.
Looking great.
Is that it?
Okay. Would Jose open hand slap someone for spitting on him? And did you lose respect for Chase?
First of all, somebody spits on you, like the open hand slap is that's off the table. Like it's a straight up fight. And if you're talking about Jamar Chase, I would have done a lot more than just hit him. Like that helmet would have come off. I'd have ripped that helmet off and then hit him. I'd have made sure he felt those punches.
Kyle Turley.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I've actually done that in practice before. My semi-career, and I did it for a lot less.
Right.
We were practicing, and the running back kept on hitting me. He was, I was trying to rush, blitz, and he kept on, hitting me after the whistle, right, blocking me. I'm like, the play's done, stop, and he's kept on doing it, and I got him on the ground. I dragged him around. I ripped that helmet off, and I flung it. Coach kicked me out of practice, but
and then once you're gone, he's like, "Be more like Garcia." Favorite John Cena moment now that he's retiring, Jose. I know you haven't been watching wrestling, so I'll take this one. And my favorite moment is him retiring.
I was gonna say when he turned heel.
Not a big fan of John Cena. Never really have been.
I not me neither. But the heel turn moment was the one that had the internet really buzzing.
Like he's really funny. I like John Cena on the mic, and he seems like a great guy. Like outside of wrestling, he seems like that. But in terms of him wrestling, I don't like that. I don't really want to watch any more of that. So, congratulations to.
I take my favorite moment.
On an incredible career. Yeah.
Peacemaker is my favorite moment. I love that show.
Congrats on an incredible career. His last match is coming up December 13th, and then we want to see him in wrestling anymore, and we can just watch more Peacemaker because he's actually a pretty decent actor.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's really good. All right, that's it. Let's get out of here. We're dangerously close to 2 hours.
Way too close.
We have a lot to discuss on the Overtime Show. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. Also for our channel members, I'm going to post that here in a second. So get ready for that. What are you reading, B?
Luke K saying, who is the face of wrestling? And that is Cody Rhodes, my friend.
Yeah. That I know. No one's better than the Rock Killer. You will get muted for that, sir. Nobody's better than the Rock.
I hate that he knew exactly who to go to, too. Hate that.
I do. I said, don't ever disrespect the GOAT, John Cena, ever, bro. You're so disrespectful, Brodny. Why do you always hate the best things?
I don't hate John Cena. I don't hate him. I guess it's like people don't even listen when I say things, man. I said he's great on the mic. I love him on the mic. He's hilarious. I just don't like watching him wrestle very much. Like it's just not. It's not great.
Tupac said Stone Cold better than a Rock.
Get out of it, Tupac.
Yeah.
Fucking blocked, bro. Like it's blocked so hard.
All right, let's get out of here.
Where
B,
is
you
Danity?
ready?
Yes.
Where is Danity? Where's Danny when you need her? All right, Adelia, are you ready? Adelia is ready. We're getting out of here. Patreon.com/LBHT Show. Overtime show is starting right now. Everybody else, have a great night. And we was what are you laughing
at? Cook attitude pop. He's not cooking. Stop.
All right, y'all. We're out of here. Peace.